What is up, winning team? And welcome back to another episode of I Hate It Here. But I want to talk about a revelation that I just had about the Lord, because I've been going through it. And this is like, I've already uploaded a bunch of videos complaining and just I say complaining. I really don't think I am. I think I'm just stating the facts and that they're ridiculous, to be honest. Anyway, I just had a revelation from as I left to come outside. It's been a busy day. I'm literally like day 2 of my period. I feel like hell. I feel like a demon, right? But I was like, am I going to be a loser again? Like, I need to like rise up and win. And I'm actually proud of myself because I've got all of my... I managed to like do most of the work I need to do. All of the chores that I wanted to do, bar one, which I have to wait because I'm just waiting for my laundry to dry. And now I'm on one of my final tasks of being outside. Although we all know I'm going to be back out later. And I'm about to take another shower because like it's just complicated how my life works. I'd be like working and then having like 2 hours off and then like working for like 5 hours. But I like it because I don't want work to rule my life, because I already feel like a slave in Egypt. Like, I already feel like I have no freedom. There's no freedom. Like, Jesus died that I would have freedom, right? And I'm just like at the mercy of everything happening around me. And I have to, like, even now, the only way I can contact you guys is through like platforms created by other people. Like, I don't know how to code. I was like, God, can I make my own internet? Is there a way I can create my own internet? Like, that nobody... Anyway, the revelation. So, it's quite simple, actually. There's not really much to it. Where's the vessels? You know, it was like God basically, or I heard in my spirit. Maybe I didn't hear in my spirit. Maybe it was my own thought. I don't know. But I just thought, you know what? God is honoring everybody's free will. And like, this will make more sense if you've watched my last couple of videos where I've been crashing out, and there's more to come of the crash outs. And it's just like, God is honoring everybody's free will. We pray to God to do things like to change our lives, to change the world. But in reality, he's just honoring our free will. He's like, hey, the decisions you people are making, I'm just honoring them. Because I'm not like the devil who forces things onto people. I'm the one true living God. I gave you dominion. Have your free will. And that's what just hit me, that like, I'm praying against people's free will. That's freaking crazy. Because where I'm praying like, God, tear them down, tear down this industry, tear this down, get us to the promised land, you know, humble us and make us to be, you know, worthy or whatever. And make us better. He's like, would love, but people, either through their words or actions, are against it. He's like, I would love to. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I came out in this state, but I'm about to shower again because I've been sweating from doing all this stuff. It's exhausting. And it's like, he's like, I'm actually honoring you guys' free will. You're doing what you want to do. You're getting away with doing what you want to do. And you're only asking me when it suits you. I'm here praying for all these things in the body of Christ. Bring back power, bring strength, bring courage. And he's like, other people, they don't want that. They want just somebody to swoop in. They don't want to humble themselves. And it only just dawned on me that that's actually one of the biggest problems I'm actually facing. Because obviously in my mind, I'm thinking, this is so simple. Like, I don't get where the problem is. I'm like, God, what is delay? What's the delay? Like, have I not done enough? And obviously, my number one thing is always to blame myself, which I'm not mad about. And I'm not saying that I was like, oh my gosh, you're sorry for me, it's some trauma response. But I do it because it's like, I'm the only person I'm in control of. I'm the only person who gets, like, if I stop right now, that's my free will. If I decide to start running, that's my free will. If I decide, they're showing the Super Bowl at the pub. The Brits are loving getting into a serious relationship with America. This is so funny to me because, like, I've said I believe England was in like a situationship with America the whole time. I believe they were never loyal to anyone and only loyal to themselves. So like to see how much Americanism is going on now in this country, not the pub showing the Super Bowl, the pub showing the football, yeah, Arsenal versus Tottenham, Chelsea versus Man City, yeah, but like the Super Bowl, that is just amazing. And I know it's just because they can make more money, they get this more profitable, they can cut costs for things like food quality, just general quality of life, and they can exploit the public in a better way like America does. I have to say to Europe, I'll give it to them, that there are some things I just respect them for a little bit more than America and the US. America and the US, America and the UK, UK and the US. Yeah, so it just dawned on me right now, I'm like, we're all here because God's honoring our free will. That's why he should let me die. That's exactly why he should let me die, because I'm like, look, God, if no one wants to participate, I've got the winning team members who are all pushing themselves to the very end, who are all at their own breaking points, who are all, you know, just let me die. Keep them, and I can be the, like, I don't know, the one who died in, I don't know what the hell people do, I don't really give a crap. But like, this is why, because I'm praying for all these things to happen. I'm like, God, get us into the underground tunnels. He's like, hey, what are you going to do if you show up there by yourself? What are you going to do about all the governmental organizations, all the rich people with the money and the power to like protect those places? I'm like, God, like, do your move, do your thing, do your big move. He's like, where is the courage? Where are my people? They're all just in it for like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just making so much sense. And it just saddens me for two reasons. First of all, my heart breaks for God always. That's what keeps me in it. That's what keeps me, because I'm like, the reason I wouldn't kill myself, you guys, is very simple. I don't want to let God down. Like, if he's relying on me for anything, or he's like really believing I can do anything, I want to be able to be there, like, and show up for him when it matters, you know? That's the only reason. It's the only reason. And then obviously him being like, what about the winning team? And I'm like, you know what? I don't know where you're going with these people. I don't know where you're going with this, but fair enough. But then you have the other side of it where it's like, what's the frigging point? Because people don't want to play ball. Like earlier, right, I was cooking. Like I said, I've had a very much like, I intentionally work less on Wednesdays. This is one thing about running your own business is great. So my heaviest work days are Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, my heaviest work days. I still work Sunday, Friday, Monday. What day do I have off? Just the Sabbath I take off. So this is one of my lighter days, and that's just because I like having a Wednesday that's not as busy. So to give me like a morning or an afternoon, whichever, to get like the adult things done, because I know I'm not going to have a weekend day off, if that makes sense. Or 2 weekend days off, so I need to replace that with another day in the week, not important. So I was like, I've got to do all my chores today, which is what I just been doing. And even though I'm in the middle of my period, I feel like crap. Sorry, I'm just watching all these parents because they're just picking up their kids from school, all trying to, you see what I'm saying? This is just so inefficient. Even if we staggered workforces, because people will spend 30 minutes, 2 hours, 2.5 hours in traffic to get home or to get to work, just because we're all traveling at the same time. And it's not that difficult for us to just stagger work, you know what I mean, or stagger this. And then also kids finish school like this time, but the adults are not going to finish work for like another hour and a half, 2 hours. So that's just so freaking stupid. The devil, like the kingdom of darkness, is literally trying to screw us over, but whatever. Anyway, why did I mention work? Oh yeah, because I was listening to something while I was cooking. What was I listening to? Hold on, I've got to think about this. Sorry guys, I just actually hate everything. I hate everything. I hate it. But anyway, so slight pivot. I was listening to this podcast, yeah. Or was I? Yeah, I was. And there was a guy on there who I really like because he's really funny. And his whole thing is that he just says whatever the hell he wants to say. And like, he doesn't really, like, people think he's joking because he says wild things, but he's not joking. So, like, for example, I'll give you an example of the extremities, and you're going to see where I'm coming back to free will, right? And why I'm saying God honors our free will. Because I think he's one of the funniest people, like funniest content creators and artists in the UK. And so the funniest moment of him is he was on one of the Sidemen shows, Shock. You guys know I love the Sidemen. Again, because they use their free will. While some people using their free will to justify molesting kids, other people use their free will to just make silly videos. So I know which side I'm on. But anyway, he always makes this joke. He made this joke on their show Inside, which is kind of like a reality TV where you stay there for 10 days, yada, yada, yada. And he made this silly joke about how, his dad came back from the dead, because they used to have this challenge where you go to a temptation, because the whole show basically is called Inside. They did a US version as well, where you go on the show, they usually get a bunch of influencers, whatever, and they stay there for 10 days. They do challenges which can either earn or lose them money. They start at $1 million, and then they have a shop. They get basic things like literally just beans and rice basically to eat every day. And then if they want to buy other things from the shop, so like entertainment, like sweets or candy, or like teas and coffees or a better meal, they have to buy it with the prize fund. But the thing is, they're charged at ridiculous amounts. So like a tea bag would be like £500. So it's a really funny show. I think a lot of people take themselves too seriously because they're like, there's a million. I'm like, you're a content creator. The best way to to get an audience is for them to hate you. I would spend all the money. Because, I don't have $1 million to my name. But on that show, the amount of hate I would get, especially me who's got nearly right now I've got 1.5k, visible videos. If I went on the show, I wouldn't be all like, oh, I'm trying to save the money to do something noble. No, because people don't care about the good thing. They don't care about the good thing. They care about the heinous thing, which is going to become ironic when I give you guys the example of what he did. So he was like, so I would spend all the money. I would be spending money. I'll be upsetting everybody because people put way more effort, attention. Like even on YouTube, right? You guys, I love you guys so much. And this is the good thing, by the way, I'm about to say. That, winners don't have time to be making 20,000 page essays on people they don't like. So you guys give me constructive feedback and like good comments back, whatever. Not even bad comments. I'll never say bad comments because for anybody I consider to be a OG winning team member, which you guys will know because I don't know. I haven't said it to some of you. And that's because I don't want to put any pressure on your backs. But anyway, there's some people who will reply to my video. I'm like, just clearly the first video you've watched. And they'll have a play-by-play of every 3 seconds what they thought was wrong. And I'm just like, if I wanted to actually get rich off of content creation, I would just do everything to annoy people on purpose. It just so happens that what I'm doing annoys a lot of people anyway. But you guys get it. And that's why I like what we've got going on here. And that's why you guys probably don't feel the need to be like, at 3 minutes and 36 seconds, you said this. And then at 3 minutes and 37 seconds, you said that. And that contradicts this. Or So I would spend all the money anyway. They went on this show, so he goes on this podcast, and in the show, he gets the temptations. The temptations are worth 30k. If you take it, it's 30k off the prize pot. If you leave it, then obviously it's not, and they'll try to get you as something you'd really like. So one of the guys, Angry Ginge, who then won Celebrity Big Brother, I'm a Celebrity. They offered him a place in the Sidemen charity match, which you guys know I love. And they'll do it differently, like depending on you and yourself. So anyways, this guy comes back, his name's Specs. And he's like, they offered me, I went in there and my parents came back from the dead, right? They were in there. And because he sat there for 10 minutes crying. Obviously, this is not a real story, as in like his parents didn't come back, but his parents are both dead. He did get asked to come to the police station because of being asked to identify his father, who he didn't know because he hadn't seen him in years. His mum had died before his dad, and he's basically lived his life alone. And so he's making a joke about it, which is like me with always talking about how I can't wait to die and all this. Because I was thinking about that. Jesus got to go at 33. Like, bro, if I only have to make it 4 more years, I might be able to make it. And I was just thinking, like, it's called free will. Like, he can make a joke about that, but people are like, oh, you can't say that. No, but you can, because we have free will. We have free will. He has free will to deal with his pain however he wants to. The same way I have the free will to like talk about what I want to say, however it comes across, because I know where I'm at. But the thing is, we all have to live with the reality that we deal with the consequences of our free will individually. So for him, he knows that he's making a joke and these things are true, because that's what he was saying in the podcast that he's talking about, as in not the part where his parents came back from the dead, but like, the fact that they died when he was young, the fact that he wears glasses because he got into a serious accident when he was like 4, that bust his eye open. Look at this. Somebody building something. We love this. By the way, this is one of the forests where they're cutting everything down. Someone definitely started to build something. I need a bit more follow through, and maybe it's the Stella that didn't get us there. Anyway, and so this is what he's talking about. And yes, I'm standing in the not looking like a forest because how many trees have freaking cut down. Different one to usual. Like there's just so many of them. Like I said, there's like 5. There's like so many forests. Oh, the squirrel. But he's using his free will I bet you this means they're cutting this tree down. Look at this. Oh, I hate it here. God, literally strike me with lightning. It's fine. Look at this. What's this? Is this mean they're going to cut this down? Is this another one they're identifying? Low-key, I feel like walking around now. Need to stay focused. So I realized that God will honor our free will. Like my free will to be here, and my free will to make the decision of, am I going to go now and walk around here and go and look at every tree to see which trees are marked, take photos, come back and take stock in a week, 2 weeks? Am I going to ignore it? Am I going to whatever? Am I going to make the effort to make sure I don't forget and set myself an alarm? Am I going to just hope that I remember? It's my choice. So the long and short of what I'm trying to say is, all of this that's happening to us, it's as a result of our free will being honored by God, because God is a gentleman. And I've said this to you guys, look, I hate to always be bringing this up, but like it was just the other day, another dude stops me, and what a gentleman he was, bless his heart, right? So sweet, this guy. And when I say sweet, by the way, I know a lot of guys don't take that well, but when I mean sweet, I mean like, you're the kind of men whom make me think maybe I should actually try to be a good woman. I'm not talking about like I don't respect you or something like that. If I say I think a man was really sweet, I mean respectful, I mean kind, I mean self-disciplined, all of that. I'm actually impressed to the point. It's like the same way I feel about with God, where I'm like, you know what, God, you're such a good guy. Like you're such a good man that I actually want to behave now. And I actually want to be better because of you. Does that make sense? And that's actually how I felt. This guy was so sweet the other day, you know what I mean? But we're both here in our free will. And whatever happens is up to both of us. Because I stood there for a second and he was like, can I take your number? And I was like, he's like, I'd like to, do you want to go out this weekend? This is like over the weekend. And I was just like, I sat there in the moment, in the same exact moment I experienced all the freaking time where I'm like, I didn't expect this at all. I've come out looking like something like this. I'm in the shop, this very lovely, sweet guy. And when I say that, I mean like, so sweet, right? One of the most respectful men I've ever spoken to, actually, in my life, probably. And I'm thinking, I feel like I'm in a game. I feel like I'm in a game where whichever choice I make, I'm going to pay the consequences. If I say no and I was supposed to say yes, or if I say yes and I was supposed to say no. And that's why I hate being approached, because I'm just like, I'm trying to get a break from this freaking free will. This is why I be coming out here and I be getting so upset that they're cutting the tree down. I'm trying to get a break. I'm trying to get a break from my free will and my dreams. It's almost worse because I'm not in my conscious self, I'm in my subconscious mind. So that's a truer version of me than at least the one that's thinking consciously and at least does what other humans do and wants to like convince myself of a different version of myself. I just need a break. Like, this is why I be coming out to places like this, because I'm like, I just want to sit here. I want no one to talk to me, and I don't want to be asked a single question. I don't want to have to make a single decision. I don't want to have my body ask and tell me that I need to go to the toilet, or I don't have to go and cook myself some food. I just want to just like have a break, because I've realized that my free will is such a heavy thing. Like, it's not a joke. It's not a joke that God gave us free will. It's not all fun and games. It's not just a small thing. My smallest decisions, even me walking right here in this direction, right? I can see some holes in the ground. I don't know what they're there for. They could be holes from some animals. They could be holes because the council's digging them out and they're planning to cut more trees. I don't know. I could accidentally step in one. That's another decision as a result of my free will. right? I could decide to upload this video or not to. That's another decision of my free will. I could decide to go on a date with this guy. I could decide not to. That's another decision of my free will. Everything is a result of my freaking free will, and I freaking hate it. And that's why I made that song that you guys heard. Scared to live. I'm not scared to die, but I am scared to live. I'd rather die than have to make a decision. Because if this hellscape we're living in, like, guys, I feel so much fire in my body, and not anger, but just fire and like passion, because I can see from God's perspective that he's like, look, I understand what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from. I understand why you're frustrated, but I'm doing what I can. People are using their free will as they wish to. There's this pastor I saw earlier, right? Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about before when I was cooking. When I first started cooking, right, and when I try to cook, I try to disconnect, because it's the only time I feel like I get to be in control. No one gets to tell me what to do. No one's opinion matters. And most importantly, I get to share my love for people with them. I don't like eating. I told you, eating, sleeping, it connects me too much to my flesh. I don't like it. But I love to cook for people. I love to see the smile on their face and all of that. But then at the same time, I hate cooking for people, because I feel like people are going to lie with their free will. So that's why I don't really make a big deal about the fact of how much I love cooking, but it's honestly one of the number 3 things that makes me the happiest in life. Because I'm convinced that people are just going to lie to me because A, because of they don't want to hurt my feelings, B, because I'm a black woman. Like, let's just not cook for anybody, because they're probably going to lie anyway, right? That's how I feel. So I'm cooking, right? I'm cooking for myself, and mainly because I'm on my period. So I'm like, if I have the energy now, let's just meal prep. Let's just do everything today. Hence why I did everything today when I had a bit of extra time. And just, at least be prepared, for whatever happens. And I'm listening to this pastor guy, another pastor guy in a frigging suit, tall dude. And he's telling the congregation, God told me, in 90 seconds, however many of you are going to send $200 to me. And a few select of you are going to send me $10K, a different pastor I've never heard of. That's what he's using his free will for. That's what he's using his free will. And then it's the stupid people in the audience listening to that, the congregation. I can't stand this world, guys, and I can't hold back anymore how I really feel, because I've just been pushed to the edge. The stupid congregation is paying that money. And he's all like, I can't even do this because I don't need the money. This is for God because I'm already rich. Screw you. That's what I really have to say. And that's why when people are like, you should use your voice, I'm like, should I? Because if you hear what I have to say, it's going to crush you. That's why I come out to the forest, because I can sing, I can speak to God, and I can tell God what is on my heart with my free will, without having to deal with the response of whatever everybody else's free freaking will is going to be when I'm the one who's upset on everybody's behalf. My heart is broken, thinking about every single one of those people in the congregation, hoping for a miracle, trusting in somebody, being pushed to the edge when they're already at the edge for the sake of some stupid, demonic imposter pastor. And I'm supposed to keep my mouth shut, and I'm messy. This is why I'm like, God, take me out, because it's like, I just don't understand what's the point. Because it's true. He's honoring our free will. We choose. I go to the shop, I go in there, I spend my money. The Bible says, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Out of the abundance of your heart, the mouth speaks. This is the abundance of my heart, is that I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this world. I'm sick of us using our free will and our own wisdom, falling to imposters and people that are ill-equipped. I'm sick of it. When we hear something that makes us uncomfortable, like this guy joking, my dad came, people are laughing because it's like, there's no way that really happened. How do you know that? He was saying in this podcast, I watched that episode of that season of Inside a couple years ago. He was like, people think I'm joking when I say stuff. Everybody does talk about him like that. They're all like, he's so funny. I never know if he's telling the truth or not. And he was like, I always tell the truth 100% of the time. I was like, I know, because I do as well. But people think because I say something crazy, because I say whatever I'm saying, that I'm just saying stuff. I'm just in my emotions. I'm just in my feelings. So I'm a woman. I got a womb. Hell no. Get me the freak out of this stupid planet, bro. Get me the hell out of here, because this place sucks. And everything that's happening to us is a result of ourselves. Not because of God. Not because of the devil. Not because of Jezebel. Not because of the government. Not because of Big Pharma. Not because of education. Not because of your family. Not because of your parents, because of you. Because you're a loser. And I'm sick of having to deal with losers. That's how I feel. If anybody wants to know how I really feel, I'm sick of it. I haven't even wanted to come out to the forest recently because they're cutting all the trees down. So look, does it even look like a forest? Giving Cynthia from the Rugrats. You know how she had like 2 basic hair strips? I don't want to be out here. It's a waste. But I was like, God, if I don't go outside and take a breather, this planet is, and it's not even like I'm angry. I'm actually heartbroken. And that's something I learned about being a black woman, you know, is that I feel like there's so much of us, like there is an element of we do get really passionate about things, and it's because we care. And can you imagine I live in a world that punishes you for that? That punishes you. Everybody loves a black woman's cooking. We're always the vibe. We're always the one dancing. We're always the one producing whatever, making everybody love the scene, giving people compliments, being strong. When these freaking, I won't even go there. And then when I'm acting like, oh, the angry black woman, some people said that to me once, you know, and it actually made me disarm myself entirely. It was a situation that also happened to me while I was at school. This is why I think school is the worst thing. My teacher said something and it just didn't make sense. I was trying to understand it. And because the world is used to just obeying without actually questioning, I was just trying to understand why we were doing it because I wanted to be a better scientist. I was sitting in the middle. The classroom was like a U shape. Our desks were like a U shape. I was sitting in the middle. I just happened to be. And I was questioning my biology teacher. One person in the classroom said, oh, the angry black woman. And do you know what I thought? You are going to benefit the most out of what I'm talking about. All of you are going to benefit from me opening my mouth. So how dare you, in your freaking free will, make me feel bad because you now benefited. They all did. Because she answered the question. We all understood it better. I wasn't angry. I wasn't shouting like I am now. I just said, hey, I don't understand why we have to do this. How does this make any sense? Like, I didn't get it. But I don't get to be confused. And everybody else gets to use she gets to use her free will as a teacher to just say stuff. And if you don't get it, you're screwed. Like, oh, well, you're stupid. I was trying to ask because it didn't make any sense. And when she gave the answer, it made a lot of sense. It made a lot of sense. And I was like, thank you for sharing that because that's actually given me so much enlightenment as a scientist. And this is what I was listening to earlier. Somebody else said, when I was in the middle of cooking, right? And the older generation, it was the same guy who brought up this pastor. They used to just obeying without questioning anything. That's why I can't stand them. I can't stand them because they're just used to obeying. They use their free will to obey without thinking. I critically think, I'm like, God, what about this? Why this? Why this? This is why we're here. We're having this conversation. I'm like, God, explain to me. Like, I don't see. Is there something I'm not doing enough? Is there something that's not happening enough? And he's like, well, I'm honoring everybody's free will. Right. That actually makes sense because that actually tracks with my observations. That everybody's using their free will for nonsense. Anyways, I'm done. I'm going to take some time out here in the forest. The sun's going to set in like an hour. I got to get back to my laundry because I still got to do a whole bunch of things. And I've been a crazy one the last couple of hours because I would like go to work and then I'm like here doing this. Well, I've been working and doing a mixture of things, and that's why I'm looking like hell now because the last thing I was doing was like cleaning the kitchen, like doing a lot of things. So I'm going to probably shower again. But anyway, guys, I'm just saying, like, I'm realizing now that God is just honoring our free will. It's like, even if we wanted Jesus right now to be president, he literally couldn't be. You know why? Because in the United States of America, this is just one example. Obviously, all over the world, right? There's different things. He couldn't be. You know why? Because you have to be 35. Jesus died before that. Even Jesus Christ. And the world goes on like, oh, the older people know what they're talking about. No, the older people know how to play the game because they grew up in a time where fondling with children wasn't even frowned upon. I freaking hate it here. I hate it here. And I can tell you that because I know myself that if I was really going to do something crazy, I wouldn't tell anyone. Because everyone's going to be, oh, Jesus, give it till tomorrow. Like, what about the people you're going to leave behind? Screw them. That or they're better off without me. I don't care because they're the same people using their free will for destruction. Don't talk to me about why I shouldn't do it. Talk to me about what you're doing, right, to actually help what God is trying to do. But you can't do that. All you can do is tell me why I should be more comfortable and happy living in hell. I hate it here. So yeah, guys, I'm saying everything I have to say and people go like, you're just angry. I don't give a crap what anybody has to say anymore. I don't care. Because you know what? I don't respect anybody. This is everything I've been holding inside me since I was a child, before I was even a teenager. And I've been watching all the nonsense and I'm sick of pretending it's so stupid. I'm sick of pretending everybody's not freaking stupid. So that's how I feel. And if you don't like it, guess what? I don't care. Because even if I have to live in this world, even if I live and I survive until 100, and this is still hell and it gets worse, at least I get to spend eternity with God. And I want to know how many of you are just as sure about that as yourself. And on that note, love you guys at the winning team. Hate the world. If life's a game, let's play to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one.